This is Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Though thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? This is your brother Kawak. This is another drive to. And yesterday night, or last night I should say, right before I went to bed, I was watching a movie with the old lady, and that movie is called The Titan. Now the reason why I'm even mentioning it, bringing it up, is because that movie was spiritual. And I read to you in Obadiah, first the Caucasians dwelt in the rocks, because they're cavemen. The word Caucasian is cave dweller. So that's talking about Esau. And then whose habitation is on high. Some of the cliffs were high, but it's got to be like it goes on in the further scripture, in the same chapter. When because Esau's trying to make his nest in the stars, and in that movie, they're preparing their bodies for space, because Yahushua went to prepare a place for us, right? And we know we can't take these bodies to that place. And in that movie, The Titan, it shows that Esau knows. Oh, he knows. And he will do anything because he's desperate to avoid judgment. So this, in the movie, Esau knows that the other planets are harsh and violent. The air's, you can't breathe the air, you can't drink the water. The environment is hostile to the human body. But Esau knows that. So he knows that he's not going to make it. And he hates us so much that he shows it to us every day with the things that he makes us go through. The demasculation of the man. I mean, he's pretty much pussified all the men. I think me and the rest of the preachers out there on the street are pretty much the last of the real men. And the brothers that watch the videos and are learning, we're the last of the real men. And Esau knows that we can't take these bodies to the next place, because these bodies are weak, and he knows that his bodies are weak. And all these movies that he does are inspired through the scripture. So in that movie, he's doing biological experiments on his soldiers, and that's why. Oh man, that movie was tight. It was deep. It said they gave up information on NATO and what they do basically. So before I said that, I was talking about Esau knows. So he makes you sign a contract when you join the military, and then in that contract you're no longer a citizen. You're property. You went from being a citizen to becoming property. So you don't have a say if you're a soldier. You're going to get injected with this, that, and the other. And in that movie, Esau was injecting his soldiers because they couldn't say, oh, I don't want this, even though in the movie they did sort of play it out like that. But each soldier gives up his civil rights. I said soldier, not man or woman. Nowadays, a soldier can be both. So these soldiers give up their rights as humans, waive them, as you say, sign a piece of paper, say, okay, I need money. You do whatever you want, experimentally, with no objection from me. Because that's what you're doing when you sign up for the military. So then Esau starts injecting these soldiers, and they have to sign another contract. Basically, that contract is the one that did them in. And that other last contract represents the mark of the beast. Even though they didn't play the chip out, they had badges and shit. But part of the image of the beast is the philosophy of the government. Because in the movie it was 2060. World War III was popping off. The nuclear missiles were set off. The earth was uninhabitable. And Esau was just trying to get the fuck out of there. So each one of these soldiers signed that paper, and they started the process. So during the whole movie, these soldiers' bodies were changing. The DNA was changing. And man, I'm gonna have to do another video when I get home, because that's chock full of information. Because at work they send me to trainings so that I could be sensitive to families and shit like that. But that's good information that they're giving, because they get into a thing called epigenetics. They don't say too much about it. It's when your genes get altered and changed by the way you were brought up and shit, some shit like that. I gotta do a video expounding on the subject. But Esau knows that you can manipulate the DNA and create some, he called them titans, Homo titans, a new race, because he also knows that we're gonna be new people, man. We're gonna be made clean. We're gonna have super duper bodies, and I mean like not these weak sauce bodies. Because in these bodies, if I don't drink my green smoothie in the morning, my day is fucked. I'm feeling bad because my body doesn't have the minerals it needs to sustain daily activity. And Esau knows that, so he puts GMOs in the food. Damn, this motherfucker's wicked, man. So he starts he starts altering the soldiers' DNA, and they turn into fucking bats, and they have night vision. They have all the things that the men of the Lord are going to have once that transformation is complete. Going to be like in our heavenly bodies. Oh shit. It's fucking road work. But that movie was tight, because it shows you that Esau doesn't care. He'll do whatever it takes to get out of the receiving judgment. He alters the human bodies, and then they become super soldiers, and then they can be able to live in other planets. So with that, I hope everything sounded correct, and if not, you could always research. You should always research. But that movie is called The Titan. Check it out. It's on Netflix. Shalom.